Hey, I'm Natalie, and today I have something incredibly important to tell you. I'm going to hit you with some stats. Guys, you may not know this. Girls, I hope you do, but let's see. 34%. What do you think this number represents? Well, did you know that in Houses of Parliament, the place where all the country's major decisions are made, only 34% of MPs are women? What about this one? 15.5%. That percentage represents the current pay gap between men and women. In comparison, women are working for free for 2 months of the year. And then we have 31%. This stat sadly represents the amount of girls and women who have faced sexual abuse in their lifetime today. That's 1 in 3. There's clearly an issue going on here. So, let's talk about careers. It's something that everyone wants and needs. I mean, this is why you're here with Apprentice Nation, right? Let's look at some more stats on inequality in the working world. And if you thought those ones before were big, I've got some more for you. If you aren't already sitting down, I suggest you do so. Currently, just 1 in 20 CEOs of FTSE 100 companies are women. None are women of colour. Women make up just 39% of secondary school head teachers and make up 21% of national newspaper editors. I've highlighted these not to try to scare you too much, but because these roles are all places of power and influence. It's what we buy and consume on a day-to-day basis. It's where we first are taught about the world and what information we believe and make decisions from. So why should we care? No, why should you care? Well, we need to look at this on a large level. If the positions of power are mainly exclusive to men, for example, politicians or CEOs, and women are locked out of these positions, then inequality stays as it is. And when it stays like this, there's little or no representation or motivation for women to aspire or feel like they can obtain these kind of powerful roles. Therefore, there's no diversity in thought or inclusion of different experiences in decision making. Women are still unheard, underestimated, and overlooked. And by looking at the stats we showed you earlier, that's dangerous. In fact, if we unleash women's potential and push them into working and obtaining high positions, it could add over £180 billion to our GDP by 2030. That's £2,850 for each and every one of us. And it works both ways. If more women are in the workforce and in better positions, it helps break gender stereotypes for men too. Currently, men aren't granted full paternity leave after their partner gives birth, only receiving 2 weeks paid leave at just £139.58. Why? Aren't men allowed to take time off to be fathers? I think we need to start questioning who is making the rules and what we are accepting. I think it's time for change. We all have a part to play. I spoke to one inspirational artist and fellow sister about her experience in working in a male-dominated industry. Here's me with Ray Black. Hi Ray, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Do you think it's becoming more inclusive for women?
I think there are definitely more spaces now than there were before, but there's still a lot of work to be done, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel like women are taking up more positions of power, let's say, so like being producers, managers, directors, or do you still feel like there's quite a way to go with that?
I think in the positions of power, there's a big way to go. And I've only ever worked with one female engineer and one female producer, and that was even in America. I know, of course, there are some female producers, but I just feel like there's not enough of women in positions of power, whether it's like as a producer or as a director or even as management. I would like to see more people giving women a chance, I think. Like I said, I've got a team of women, and it's not purposeful. I'm not just like, find the power, we're gonna burn our bras and it's just me and 6 women. Like, I mean, I would be, but I literally just wanted to work with the people who are the best and the most dedicated, and they happened to be women.
I also got to speak to young T and Bugsey to hear their thoughts on the matter. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, we're there, we're chilling.
Good. Thank you so much for joining me.
That's all right.
When I look at like the music industry, I see like men taking up quite dominant roles, like directors, managers and producers. And I kind of just wanted to get your thoughts on what do you think about women, you know, taking on those positions, or at least just being paid for the same roles?
I think it's very, very important. I feel like, obviously, I think nowadays, I think there's more, especially us anyways, I feel like we're around more women anyways. I feel like in our team, there's a lot of women in our team. Like in our management team, there's a lot of women. Our tour manager's a woman. Even producers, we're getting with more female producers. Just the other day, we had a session with a producer called C Beats. She's a woman, I believe she's like
17.
I think like 17. I think she's like 17.
Younger,
you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely needed in it because I don't think any industry should just be male dominated, especially when like both of us can do the exact same thing more or less in it. I don't think there's anything like that. I don't think it should be that in it. So I feel like it's good how there's more women involved in it, yeah.
So you've heard about like some of the latest incidents and statistics around like violence against women and inequality, and I kind of just wanted to find out like what do you think men need to do more of in these situations to challenge this?
One thing I'd say is sometimes with men, maybe not all men, I can't speak for all men, but like I think sometimes like you might see something that maybe is a bit wrong or a bit on the borderlines of and you might not call it out or you might not say it right there and then. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when you don't say it right there and then, even if you're gonna pull someone to the side later and say, oh, maybe it was a bit out of line there or blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's good to say it right there and there so like the woman that's maybe the victim there knows that she's got support. As in like, does that make sense? She doesn't feel like, she doesn't feel like, oh, no one even thought this was mad or no one even thought this was weird. Like, if you call it out right there and there, she can now even be more justified in saying, oh, this was actually mad, like whatever happened in it, do you know what I mean? So I feel like if more men just speak out and just say, just call it for what it is, isn't it? Like if something's wrong, innit?
I hope you've been able to hear what's been said today and understand that something needs to change in order to help women succeed and flourish in their careers and life. It's not just one person's job, it's something that we can all engage with, man or woman. Here are some groups which are directly working to help make change for gender inequality that you can follow, support and engage with. HePurshe.org, forset.org.uk and forwarduk.org.uk. Remember, we're in this together. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have been inspired to create change.